I thought making $1 million would change everything that I imagined: financial freedom, security, and a life without money worries. But despite hitting that milestone, I eventually found myself broke. How is that even possible? The truth is that earning $1 million and building lasting wealth are two very different things. Between lifestyle inflation, poor financial decisions, cash flow problems, and costly mistakes, success can disappear much faster than it arrives. I'll share what really happened, the lessons I learned the hard way, and why making money is only half the battle when it comes to achieving true financial success. Today we will talk about I made $1 million and still went broke _ here's what happened. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. The day I hit $1 million. For years, my biggest goal was to make $1 million. Like many entrepreneurs, I believed that reaching 7 figures would solve most of my financial problems and provide the freedom I had always wanted. I imagined a life where money was no longer a concern, opportunities were endless, and stress would finally disappear. After years of hard work, sacrifices, long nights, and relentless effort, I finally reached that milestone. Seeing my business generate over $1 million felt surreal. It was the achievement I had dreamed about for years. Friends congratulated me. Social media celebrated the accomplishment, and I felt like I had finally made it. 2. Revenue is not wealth. One of the biggest misconceptions in business is believing that revenue equals wealth. When people hear that a business made $1 million, they often assume the owner became rich. The truth is much more complicated. Revenue is simply the money that comes into a business before expenses. Behind every dollar earned were operational costs, payroll, software subscriptions, marketing expenses, taxes, rent, and countless other obligations. At first, I focused entirely on growing revenue because it looked impressive. Every increase made me feel successful. What I ignored was profitability. While sales were growing rapidly, expenses were growing just as fast. 3. Lifestyle inflation changed everything. As my income increased, my lifestyle changed dramatically. I upgraded my apartment, purchased expensive equipment, traveled more frequently, and started spending money on things I once considered luxuries. At the time, these decisions felt justified. After all, I had worked hard and believed I deserved to enjoy the rewards. However, lifestyle inflation can quietly destroy financial stability. Every new expense became a recurring obligation. What started as rewards slowly transformed into expectations. My monthly costs increased faster than I realized. Instead of maintaining the habits that helped me build wealth, I adapted to a more expensive lifestyle that required constant income growth to sustain. 4. I ignored cash flow. Cash flow is the lifeblood of every business, yet it is one of the most misunderstood aspects of entrepreneurship. My business appeared successful on paper, but cash flow problems were quietly developing behind the scenes. Large invoices remained unpaid for months. Customers delayed payments. Expenses continued regardless of incoming revenue. I focused heavily on sales and growth while neglecting liquidity. As a result, I found myself in situations where the business looked profitable but lacked enough cash to cover immediate obligations. 5. The trap of looking successful. Success brings visibility, and visibility often creates pressure. As my business grew, I felt increasing pressure to appear successful. Social media amplified this effect. People expected to see progress, achievements, and signs of prosperity. I began making decisions based on perception rather than financial wisdom. Expensive purchases became symbols of success. Certain investments were made because they looked impressive rather than because they made business sense. The desire to maintain an image created financial strain that was entirely unnecessary. One of the most dangerous aspects of entrepreneurship is confusing appearances with reality. 6. Bad investments and overconfidence. Success can create confidence, but it can also create overconfidence. After reaching significant financial milestones, I began believing that my business success automatically made me a skilled investor. This assumption proved costly. I invested in opportunities one didn't fully understand. Some seemed exciting, while others promised quick returns. Because I had experienced success before, I underestimated risk and overestimated my ability to predict outcomes. Several investments performed poorly, and some resulted in substantial losses. The most painful lesson was realizing that success in one area does not guarantee success in another. 7. Taxes were a brutal surprise. One of the least discussed realities of earning significant income is taxation. During periods of rapid growth, I focused heavily on revenue and expansion while paying insufficient attention to tax planning. As income increased, so did tax obligations. Unfortunately, I failed to set aside enough money consistently, assuming future growth would solve the problem. When tax bills arrived, the amounts were far larger than expected. Suddenly, money I believed belonged to me had already been promised elsewhere. Many entrepreneurs underestimate the impact of taxes because they focus on gross earnings rather than net results. Without proper planning, taxes can create severe cash flow challenges and financial stress. 8. Burnout reduced my performance. While financial mistakes played a major role in my decline, burnout made everything worse. Building a successful business required years of intense effort, and I rarely prioritized rest, health, or recovery. Initially, this seemed necessary. I believed working harder would solve every problem. Over time, however, exhaustion began affecting decision-making, creativity, and productivity. Small problems became larger because I lacked the energy to address them effectively. Stress clouded judgment and increased emotional decision-making. 9. Losing money taught me more than making it. The experience of going broke after reaching a major financial milestone was painful, but it also became one of the most valuable learning experiences of my life. Making money taught me how to generate opportunities, build systems, and create value. Losing money taught me humility, discipline, risk management, and financial responsibility. During difficult periods, I was forced to examine habits, assumptions, and decisions that had previously gone unquestioned. I learned that wealth is not defined by income alone. True financial security comes from managing resources wisely, controlling expenses, preserving cash flow, and making sustainable decisions. 10. The real lesson about wealth. The most important lesson for making $1 million and still going broke is that earning money and building wealth are not the same thing. Income creates opportunities, but financial security depends on what happens after money arrives. Sustainable wealth requires discipline, patience, planning, and sound decision-making. It involves managing expenses, protecting cash flow, investing carefully, preparing for taxes, and resisting lifestyle inflation. Most importantly, it requires understanding that financial success is not a destination, but a process. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up, leave a comment, and click the button to subscribe.